All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's live stream. We're going to continue our work by making subtitles better in Crunchyroll, and we've been left into injecting from the R2 object storage from Cloudflare into the subtitles extension. So the first thing that I need to do is like to test the production access is actually working. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. I'm going to come here to the Visual Studio Code. And let's see. That was the Cloud code working its way yesterday. I'm gonna close everything. You can see the SQL. Was it SQL? Yeah. I remember what I was gonna do. So this was like the schema, but I'm also gonna violate this a little bit and insert into, forget about the seed SQL. References. Now, you're gonna have the chapters, which I said that we were going to come in here. This is gonna be the series ID, which is gonna be Naruto Shippuden. And series, okay. And the chapter, wait, I copied the wrong thing. Gonna come and copy this thing. All right, and it's gonna be chapter subtitle location, which should be around here. I think this is how it works. Copy link. I think that would be location, right? I still have no idea, but and the chapter number will be 411. Now that we got that, we can come in here, Control J to open the command line. I'm gonna clear it. I'm gonna say one db prod. And what we're gonna be doing is that we're gonna execute the entire schema file. As you can see, I added a very dangerous drop table command. And that's because I'm kind of like working this into development yet. I say yes. Uploading complete. Near if syntax error at offset 18 escalator error, let me make this the terminal a little bit bigger. What? M file not found. Continuing for more details. Let me see what's saying, and the CF API request here. Probably like a syntax error. Let me fix this. Close everything. Fix syntax error. Oh, okay. Forgot about the semicolon. All right, we're good. Now let's upload it again. Near if syntax error offset. Okay, now I have no idea what's gonna happen. Is it here as well? Let's try it again. Yep. No. Strange. I'm having the following error. please try to fix it? Schema SQL. Contents of the Wrangler log file. Oh. Oh, no, let me fix the schema file. Yes, and then ask again. All right. Okay. Good. Dude, this has been like a really big game changer. Having the ability for you to send something, debug it, and then no such function now at offset 71 SQLite error. Oh. You're an expert fixing SQLite files. Can you please adapt this so it becomes SQLite compatible? But, well. Because the now function is now complaining. Daytime now. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, hey, it worked. So now we should come back here, and we're gonna come to the OneSQL database. And we should definitely check out. Give me a second. Okay, so now we got the database. We're gonna come in here, and we're gonna run the console and just check. Select from series. Okay, it worked. And select from episode. Okay, I did put it in plural. It's okay. Wait, what was it? Oh, chapters. I think it works. Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So now that we have that, I wanna, wait, let me close this. Close, close, close. Somewhat close. We know how Mac close works. I'm gonna close this. Now I'm gonna come back to the index.ts file. And let me deploy to prod. Do I have it in here? No. Package.json backend deploy prod. Bun deploy prod. Let us wait for it to actually go ahead and upload it to the production environment. And We should definitely check if the subtitles route is going to work. Okay, I think it is working. And construct the R2 object key, series ID, chapter ID. So we're gonna come in here and say open. And we're gonna come in here and say API subtitles series ID, which is this one, and chapter ID, which is this one. Oh my god, this is beautiful. So it's actually returning as text because I haven't instructed otherwise, so it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. We can then fix it later on. So we can just, okay, let me make a simple call, and I want to keep this prototyping it before we begin like making much more improvements. I'm gonna come to my extension now, and I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna say static. No, I'm gonna place it .env, and also name it, and we're gonna say cloud, well, API URL. I'm also gonna copy and paste this. I'm gonna say .env.example, and I'm gonna come here to the source. I'm gonna save, create some folder called shared env.ts, and this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to add sod, which, by the way, I don't remember if for the package manager, did I need to add it like pair? Because, damn, I forgot bun add sod. I know there are libraries that are newer and more powerful, but sod is just like pretty standard now, battle tested, so it's pretty good. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say export, no, const object c dot, wait, import c from sod, c object. I'm gonna say API URL. I'm gonna say c dot string, and I'm gonna say export get function get env, or const get, no, function get env, and say return schema parse env. And even though you don't believe this is gonna be awesome, because, okay, so try. I also added this pretty recently in one of my projects, so I'm gonna look for this really quick to see n.ts m schema. There we go. I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna paste this. Let's say it's gonna be Subarashi env. Get environment, and guys, with this one we got a typed environment variable. And what's truly powerful about the, oh, it didn't have this one. Wait, there's gonna be a change that I'm gonna ask for it. Subarashi env. So now you're gonna see something really cool with this one. I'm gonna ask Cloud Code something, .ts. I would like to print the error message when it fails to parse the schema. So whenever Sod runs the parse command, it will actually throw an error saying that you are missing like an environment variable. And this is something really powerful because I cannot tell you the number of times that you screw up because you forget to pass like a configuration. You can end up like hours trying to figure something out. And it's just that crappy thing. And no, I wrote the wrong thing. So the env. Oh man. Clear. I could have asked ChatGPT for that because it was going to be faster. Yeah, that was the one. Error. But I want you to print all the error keys from SOD. Yeah, all the validation errors from SOD. There you go, the for each. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is good. Okay. This is awesome. So this was exactly what I wanted to do. There is another thing that you can also do, which is promise.try, which is something I've been using quite a lot, but it's just easier to have to get environments. Yeah, something that I used to do also that I like to pass the environment through the parameters of the get environments function. So here it is. We're gonna come in here, and since we're gonna be using the API URL, I am going to create something very simple. Let me see what we can come up with. I'm gonna say source and just api.ts because something very simple. Export function. So we're probably gonna be using fetch. So const appy, and we're gonna have the base URL, and let's just write it here, API. I'm gonna have appy.ts, and we're gonna create a client.ts. And we're gonna have an object.freeze. We rarely screw this up, but I'm gonna have it. And we're gonna have the subtitles say endpoint, subtitles. And I'm gonna have the episodes or chapters just to make it very simple. And we're gonna need to pass the series ID. Series. You're gonna see what I'm gonna do with this one. Series ID string, chapter ID string. And now what I do is that I come and I return the base URL. Did he wake up again? He woke up again. Guys, can you give me 1 minute? I'm gonna be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. So, okay, so I'm gonna leave this one here. Okay, it's gonna be my message. Baby's crying, I'll be back. Oh, and my wife just took care of him. Thanks God. So I'm gonna have here the series ID and the chapter ID. And the reason I'm doing this is because this one kind of like constructs the entire path. So it's my way of actually creating like a small router in here. It's very simple, but it's quite effective. So the client is going to be, I think I'm going to create a class. Say export class HTTP client. And let's say the constructor. Say base URL string. And I'm going to say here base URL string. I think private read-only base URL. I think it does this. So now I can actually access the base URL directly. If I recall correctly, this should work. So I'm going to say get and get, right? Yeah. And I should definitely pass a string. And right now, no headers. So also gonna have a private method called base or request. So I'm gonna have the method, which is gonna be a string, I'm gonna do it this way. Export type and request input. Say the method. Well, I'm just gonna leave it a string. I'm also gonna pass the headers. Gonna be headers. And I'm gonna come here 6J. Say input request input, and I'm gonna have the return fetch dot method URL string. I'm gonna come here 7. I'm gonna say this base URL. You see this? I can access. I did something called dependency injection. I created the HTTP class with HTTP client, and then I passed the base URL. And you're seeing I didn't define it in the body. This is something that I think it was something that TypeScript does. So can you guess the base URL, and now I can pass the. Move this so it is more legible. Well, I like to always append this. So I'm gonna say input.url. Then I'm gonna come in here, the body, and move it here, body init. Now I can come, let's wait for it. Input.body method. Input.method. You can just leave it like this right now. And what we're gonna do, I think we can keep it like really simple at first. So we're gonna create the get URL, and we're gonna say return this dot request method get URL. And I'm thinking of something. If I pass the API series chapters, yeah, okay. So now I can do the following. I'm going to create a context. Export get context. This is what I'm going to do. Const environments. And it's going to be a get environments. I'm just gonna say get env. I rather prefer it, and I'm gonna pass the process dot env in here. Function got env. Now I'm gonna say HTTP client, and I'm gonna say new HTTP client. Gonna pass the env.api URL. You see how everything is falling on, and I can just return the env HTTP client, and I have my context and my HTTP client baked into it. Okay, the baby got to sleep, and this is gonna be really powerful. You're gonna see it. Why? Because now I can have like an entry point, which I'm not gonna make it as complex as that, and I'm gonna come to my content, which that's the one that gets injected, right? Right. And I'll probably won't have access to the get context function. I won't, because the environment needs to be, yeah, we get content. It's the script that I get injected into the file. So I'm gonna have like the popup.ts, which I'm just gonna name. I'm gonna rename this. Instead of the popup.ts, I should say extension or main.ts. I'm gonna name it here. The main JavaScript entry function for the extension. Okay, now I'm gonna have, I think I'm gonna add bun add.env. I don't know if Vite can actually import the environment when bundling. Let me see something, because I'm unsure about this. It's been so long since I've worked like purely on the front end with only Vite. How can I import an environment variable to main.ts using Vite? Remember that this is a front end application. And let's say the vite.config. Because the thing is, when you're working on a front end application, you got to be very careful on not including a sensitive information, especially when it comes to environment variables, because they are all public. And it doesn't matter if you're building like a native application or something like that, it can be decompiled and checked. And you got to be very careful. And especially since more advanced users can reverse engineer the entire thing and see what you're actually sending. So I know that. Define config, load env, process you. Load env file based on mode in the current working directory. And then define option to make environment variable available. Vite does this automatically for Vite prefix of ours. But you can also define for custom variables. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh. Right. I thought this was like very from Create a React app back in the days, but that's not the case. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just ask it a yes and don't say anything else. But perfect, I'll show you how to TypeScript types recommended. Now you can use environment variables in main.ts like this. API URL, API key. Okay. Okay, this is good. So, well, we won't be needing this. I'm just gonna come here to the shared. I'm gonna come here to the environment. And I'm just gonna update feed API URL. It's gonna be way better. And I can just delete 3K. We're not gonna need this. And probably we're also not gonna need bond remove .env. Need .env from here. And what I'm gonna do is that I want to test this out first. Why don't I have any references? So env vite API URL. Okay, so come here, send message, say pop up, which is the main function. Okay, context, get context. Okay, we're gonna say import get context from shared context here, and I want to log console.log context.environment vite API URL. You see how we have everything typed? This is really powerful. So I'm gonna clear my extension. Let me see, I think it's on the dev, right? Bond dev. Failed to load config from vite.config.ts. Why? The service will stop. Oh, right. Because I kind of screw this over. And package.json, the main pop-up, or is it the manifest.json? Pop-up HTML, I think it's in here. Okay, main.ts. There we go. I'm gonna say bond def. It should work now. It's taking a while. I think it's actually working. Feed build watch. Feed is pretty instantaneous. So is it working now? Bond build. Did this work? I don't think it's working. It is not working. It hanged. It hanged. It hanged. GCF feature. Say worker created a basic configuration for us to download and the subtitle files. I'm gonna push this, and I think we're good. But now we gotta solve the issue from Vite not building. God. Okay. Let me wonder why is this. Turbo build. Cache maze. Executing. Okay. So I think Vite is broken. So when Vite is broken like this, the only thing that remains. Wait. Oh, okay. I thought the node modules was like included. Okay, this is correct. This is done. I say rm rf node modules. Now rm rf apps extension node modules. It's really, and I'm gonna, no, the backend I think it's okay. Bond install. I was deleting files from my computer, so they could have probably like died. I want to say bond dev. Yep, now it worked. We're good. No, but wait a minute. This one. No, I don't want the vid config. Holy shit, 125 kilobytes. Build popup.js. Okay, it actually updated the. Alright. Okay, it actually did this correctly. But I'm gonna also rename them popup.html to main.html. Because if people come here and work into this thing, they're not gonna know it's the same thing. So I'm gonna say main, and here main. Clear. Subarashi. There we go. And now I think that we are ready to go. I'll go build. All right. And now that we have our build file, I'm gonna come here to our extension. I am going to look for Subarashi. Okay, it didn't work because I changed the directory structure. I never updated this after we created the. Okay, I think we're good. Extension loaded. And should probably be in here. Oh. All right. Your file couldn't be accessed. Oh, right. I forgot. Come to VS Code. I never updated the manifest.json. And say pop up. No, it's actually main.html. Gonna come in here. Clear. Clear. Turbo dev. All right. All right. So we can come back to this one. Did it load? No, because I gotta reload the manifest.json. I'm gonna reload the extension. I can't delete all of this now. Okay, so we're gonna reload, come back to our Naruto Shippuden extension, and come here. Ah, there we go. So if I come in here and I right click and I go to developer tools and say v inspect. Come here to the console. Feed API URL invalid input. You see uncocked sought error. Feed API URL invalid input. So this means invalid type. So this means that it was not successfully loaded. So the environment had issues. I wonder how did I pass this? Process that I have there we go. It's import dot meta dot how was that what Claude did? I forgot about it. So resume meta.env. There we go. Okay, so remove browser specific settings. I think I can come back in here. Go and reload the script. I still don't know if the... No, it did close it, right? So I can come back here, and then I can right click developer tools, inspect. Console, not available. Okay, I'm gonna refresh. Console, not available. I'm gonna do something here. Say console.log import env import.meta.env. And the server example .env. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, such a baby. It's here, the problem. It's in the environment. It's v API URL. And here. And our URL is in here. Gonna come to the workers and pages. Surashi worker production. Gonna copy link. Okay, I think this is the one. So yeah, I never I never added it. So clear turbo def. Okay, good. And I think that if we see the no, because it's in git ignore. I'm gonna come Vivaldi extensions. I'm gonna reload the extension. I'm gonna come back to the Naruto Shippuden. Come here, right click, and developer tools, validate. No. Come on, developer tools. Inspect. Console. There you go. There you go. There's the URL. Okay, not available. Where is this not available coming from? And here's the URL. This is sweet. So this is what we're going to be doing. The next step is to come in here. I'll probably have to close the stream like in 13 minutes, give or take. I'll take a quick bath. And we already got our environment variables. Now I want to create so the main.ts and come in here. Right, because now we're gonna load it from the click function. So how are we doing this? Pop up. Okay, so we're gonna come in here and we're gonna rename this function to main. This is the context. We can now download this thing, and I'm gonna create the load subtitle. And I'm gonna move the send message to the message function. So we got the API, we got shared, okay, messages.ts. I'm gonna add an export async function. Come in here, d27jp, and import browser. And message data. Import message data from types. Why is this complaining? Oh, okay. 7J, okay. Good. Setting load subtitles messages. Okay, now we can execute the script. No tap ID. I think we're getting it in here. And let's say the send message. So we're gonna have the main function, and we're gonna add in here function load. So I think that we can create something in here. So the API is shared, and I think, let me see. Usually it comes from a domain. Let's have it here. Node subtitle buttons and A3J 8K. This is going to be the event listener. Here. Bam. Then we're going to add here async load. Import send message. Shared message is awesome to J. And now we can go over for J and say load. Await load. So one thing, do I need the async here? I do not need the async here. And what? 44D say unload. Function unload. Paste this. All right, we got the context, we got load, and what we can have in here is take a look at this, export type, context, and return type of get context. And you're gonna see something really important here. I am not using an LLM, and the reason is that I'm not clear in what I want to do. When I have zero clarity, this is not gonna work. Because the LLM should be an accelerator, not a complete substitute. And I love to use LLMs. I love them. I try to offload as much work as possible. But in this case, we're not. And I'm going to use this because I'm going to pass the context as parameter. Context. Let's say context. I think I should rename this to app context for more clarity. All right. We got this. So I'm going to say context. I'm going to pass the context. And now the entire application is kind of like wired up. So you can see I initialized a context which will initialize all of my services and everything. And yeah, I could potentially create a service from there. But let's keep it simple at first, because I still have no idea how the boundaries are going to work. So it says Subarashi load data. And what we're going to substitute in here, because it's going to come as text, it's going to come as text, right? Is that we want to comment this. And I'm going to say context.http client.get API could create a service layer. Well, let's keep it simple. I'm going to import it. .series, .chapters. I'm going to have the series ID, which is going to be this little guy over here. Then the chapter ID, which is going to be this guy over here. And I kind of messed up in here. Gotta return. Here we go. So we're gonna have const result await. Say await result the text. We're gonna make this much more robust, but let's give it some time. So if I build this, if I rebuild this, and I come in here, and let me just move this to see, I think this is going to disappear. And we're going to come to extensions. I'm going to reload the extension. I'm going to come back to Naruto Shippuden episode that we have. And let's see how it goes. I'm going to come here and say, right click, right click, right click. No, right click. Okay. Developer tools, inspect. Come to the network tab. I'm also going to pay attention to my Cloudflare worker logs really quick. Note that we're not doing anything fancy. Let me just open link a new tab. Dude, this is going to be amazing. Once we got this, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be like really cool. The thing is that I never updated the episode, right? So we're going to come here to observability. And we're going to come here to live. See if it's actually loading it. And I'm gonna click on my subtitle, load subtitles. And Jesus, does this work? Okay, so I think that no, because I use the modified script that I have, right? No, it didn't load it. So let me see what happened. I came here, Subarashi. Come on, right click, developer tools, inspect, console, not available. But it did come through, right? Because if I come here to my observability, oh, there's a lot of the appending. So let me try to fix in this URL. Let me just remove this because I think api.ts, amp.ts. Remove this thing, remove that thing, and I think that we are good. Clear. Turbo build. Okay, one successful. Come back to here. Gonna reload our babies. Guys, I think that we're very close on having something really cool. I'm gonna press F2 here. Subtitles, load subtitles. Did it work? I have no idea. Come here to the sometimes it does take a while to show up though. Because in here it says get. At least we know that the API calls are succeeding. But it should go. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know we got a problem. And the problem is, guys, is that in our environment, we never specify the it here. API. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. Turbo build. And come back once more. Come to extension. We're gonna reload the extension. Come back here. And I come back to the. It actually went through. So now the URL was fixed, and that was our one. But I'm gonna come here to live. Gonna wait for it. Gonna make another request. Load subtitles. It actually went through. And let's say get API. Right. That was my bad again. That was my bad. Environment. API.ts series. And I think that I can do the following. Get chapters. was something that I learned after a while. Get access or cannot have parameters. Give me a second. That's true. No, because what I need to do is that I need to say get series, then here, and then okay, I'm gonna say a return. You're gonna know why. So I'm gonna say const base path. I'm gonna say series, and then I'm gonna add it here. Say base path. There you go. This is like a very neat trick that I didn't know that you could actually do until a very long time. So what I ended up doing, I added like a get modifier to the object. Then I created like a base path. So if I then add, like, for example, I say like releases, I can always refer to the base path. This would help me create the URL in kind of like in a safe manner. So I know I now have like a very simple source of truth in which I can operate. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna say reload the extension, and I should probably be closing this stream really quick, really soon. But come here to subtitle, load subtitles. And it didn't work, but API seriously did go through. So give me a second. What was the path that I did? API subtitles. Oh, subtitles. It was not serious. It was subtitles. Yeah, it's serious. But I should definitely like rename this. So I'm gonna come here back to my backend in my Cloudflare worker. Gonna come back to index, and instead of subtitles, I want to say, well, it is the subtitles, right? Subtitle match. And I'm gonna also add it. Damn, when it's like this, I have no idea. In index.ts, can you rename the path? A subtitles series. All right, now we're good. And this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, yes. Backend deploy prod. Clear bond build. No. Turbo deploy prod. Turbo deploy prod. And we need to modify the base. So it's going to be the API.ts get subtitles instead of series, and I'm gonna add it like we can always add this, the same thing, like for example, the series or chapters. But we're gonna keep it simple. Subtitles series. It's okay. It's okay. It's really okay. And we're gonna have turbo build. We're gonna build this. And now that we have already all set this, come on, man. I gotta inject this thing before. Clear. Okay. I think it did go through. This one did go through, right? It was not loaded, but I think it did go through. Let me see here. Inspect. Not about. Okay, I think I gotta go, but I think we made a huge progress in here because we were able to at least request our file, even though we were not able to kind of like load it into the main place. Button click. Console.log sub content. Yeah, it actually said something. Access to fetch. All right, course issues. Well, we're gonna solve the course issues later on. I need to close the stream because I gotta go. I gotta do some blood work early tomorrow. So, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I think we're very, very, very close. The course issues, I'm gonna fix them pretty soon. I think I'm gonna install like Hopper, like a small library for Cloudflare worker that's gonna help me for, I forgot the name, the for handling routes, and then we're gonna continue to stream because we're very close on finishing the MVP. So I'll see you guys around. Have a great one and take care.